Good morning, everyone. The purpose of this video is to give you some information since we won't be meeting together for class. What I want to talk about is planning for Project 1. We're going to talk a little bit about how to plan for your infographic as well as how to plan for your PechaKucha presentation. So the first thing I want to mention is that you should make sure that you have a plan. I know that sometimes planning seems like a lot of extra work up front, but think about it this way. The time that you spend planning will benefit you as you begin working on your actual project. All of the time that you spend planning up front is time that you can save by not having to redo things as you're actually designing your infographic or working on your presentation. Depending on the size of your project, your total planning time could be 25 to 50% of your entire project time. The more time that you spend planning, the easier it'll be to actually execute on the project that you're doing. Whenever you're planning, you want to think about the writing situation. So you can see I've listed things here like purpose, audience, constraints, considerations. So those are things, constraints and considerations are things like what are the things that your audience might expect. And for some bigger projects, if you have budget constraints or certain kinds of media. For purposes of Project 1, you want to think about the constraints that you have are the information that you need to include in your infographic and the fact that your presentation will be done through the PechaKucha format. So those are some things that you want to think about. When we're planning for our infographic, you want to keep referring back to that diagram we've been looking at, the steps that you take to create an infographic. The first thing I want to talk about are the different planning documents or tools that you have available as you're working on your first project. So I'm going to flip quickly over to Blackboard to show you some of the things that are available in our course. If you go to the visual communication link within Blackboard, you'll see that I've posted some visual communication resources. These are resources or links that you can go to find graphics that you can use, both within your infographic as well as within your PechaKucha presentation. It's noted in the assignment sheet that you should cite any sources you use, including images. What you'll find through these links are images that you can use usually for free, and they will tell you how you have to cite them. So when you're looking for images, if you don't want to create your own, you can try any of these links that are listed here. While these links are tools for you to use, there's actual planning documents that are available in Blackboard for you to use. So go to the Project Assignments link into Project 1, and you will see below where the draft material submission link is that there are 3 different planning documents for you to use. There is an infographic planning document, there is a PechaKucha plan, and there is a PechaKucha PowerPoint template. All of these documents have been posted in their actual format. What I mean by that is the infographic plan has been posted as a Word document. This means you'll just be able to click on it, it'll open in Microsoft Word, you can type your information into the plan, and you can go ahead and use it. The same thing for the PechaKucha plan as well as for the PowerPoint template. So I'm going to take you quickly through each one of these. First is the First is the infographic planning document. So to open it, you just click on the link. It will open a copy of the document. You will notice in the information that I posted for this week, this is a homework assignment for you to complete by Friday. So what you're going to be doing is opening this document and completing it for your infographic. You can see that this plan follows the basic format of the things we've been talking about creating an infographic. So you start by doing an overview. What is the topic of your infographic? What is the purpose? Who's the audience? And what do you want your audience to do as a result of your infographic? What this means is, are you trying to convince them? Remember that technical communication usually does 2 things. It either teaches someone something or it motivates them to do something. So you want to, or both. So you want to think about what do you want your audience to do as a result of the information in your infographic. Once you list that, then you want to start thinking about your story. So there's space in here for you to outline your story. Think about it from the story perspective, so the things that we've done in class. The next section is about the actual facts or the tidbits that are going to be in your infographic. So what this is helping you to do is to think about those specific facts that you want to use. What are the tidbits you're going to use to tell your story? The reason that there's a section in here asking you how it relates to your topic is that it'll make it easier for you to tie these various things together as part of your story. So I've given you space to put a bunch of tidbits here. You can put as much as you want. And then you'll see down here where it says choose the 6 most important. Remember that the assignment requires you to include 6 tidbits of information for your infographic. So this part, this choosing your tidbits and using powerful language, is very similar to what you did for yesterday's homework when you were looking at the stories. Once you've figured out your information, then there's some planning here for your design. So you're going to decide what kind of infographic you want to create. One of the ways that you can look at this is if you look back to the lecture notes from infographics, it shows you the different types of infographics that are available. You want to think about your color scheme. So remember what we've talked about with color. You want to make sure that you're addressing all of the contrast needs, making sure that the colors work well together, and make sure that the colors communicate what you want them to communicate. You'll also want to start thinking about your design, and you can sketch your information here. When you're doing this homework, please don't worry about it being perfect or being committed to this. The objective of this plan is to just get you started thinking about what you want to do. The second planning document in here that you'll see is a PechaKucha plan. This will make more sense once you watch the video about making a PechaKucha. So make sure that you watch that video first before you try to do anything with this plan. But once you open it, you will see that it opens in Microsoft Excel, and it gives you an Excel spreadsheet where it lists the 20 slides that you are going to put in your presentation. It also allows you to then put the topic, so what is the purpose of that particular slide? What image are you going to use? You can just describe the image here, you don't actually have to put it. So what's going to be on the slide? And then in here you want to script out what you're going to say when that slide appears. Remember, you only have 20 seconds per slide, so it's very important that you script the exact words you're going to use and that you practice to make sure that it fits within those time constraints. The final document that's in here is the PechaKucha template, which you can click on. This is just a PowerPoint template that I've created for you that already has all the timing settings into it. When you click on it, it will actually open in PowerPoint, and you can go ahead and start putting your information into it. So you can see that I've just created a black PowerPoint. You can do whatever you would like in terms of changing the color, but all the settings have been put in here. If you don't want to use this one and you want to create your own, that's fine. Just make sure that you remember that it has to automatically advance after each 20 seconds. A couple more points about PechaKucha presentations that I just want to make sure that you have in front of you is first, watch the video. There is a link that is available in the announcement that I sent out with the video. It is a 7-minute, it's basically a PechaKucha about a PechaKucha, so it's about 7 minutes long. Just some key points, 20 slides, 20 seconds each, so a total of 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Make sure that you plan, practice your timing. So you're going to need to practice this a couple times before you do it. Your goal here is to pick the right things, so the most important points, and be concise in what you're sharing. That means you can't go off on a tangent about something. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just give it your best effort. So I don't want you to stress about having to do these presentations. This is all about trying it. Doing PechaKucha presentations isn't easy. So we're all going to give it our best effort, but you're not being held to making sure that it's perfect. So I just want to wrap up with what you should be working on right now while we're not in class together. The objective of this week is to really get you to be planning and to be working on your project as well as your case study. But let's talk primarily about the project. So you want to start planning now. There is the infographic planning document homework, which you can find under supporting assignments. That is due Friday before class. You want to start working on your PechaKucha plan. And then in terms of if you have any questions, you can email me, or I want to show you that I've created a discussion board over in Blackboard for us to use. So to access the discussion board, you can see that there's a link that says discussions. Just click on this link, and then you'll see something called Snow Day Class Discussion. Click here, and then you can just create a thread where you can post your questions. And I will answer any questions that people post. It also gives you an opportunity to see what others in the class might have questions on in case it's something you need help with as well. As always, if you need any help, don't hesitate to email me. I hope you have a great snow day and that you stay warm.